Today, I want to talk about a few players' itemization in Game 3 of T1 vs KT this morning. Nothing hugely critical here, but just some unoptimal choices to talk through for several players. Let's take a look. Also, 65% of you aren't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, it really helps out the channel, and you can change your mind at any point if you so choose. Let's start with Nocturne on KT. Now this is a champion that has been seeing a bit more play lately because of his synergy with Nico and dive comps. Nocturne turns off the lights and the enemy team is blind to Nico flanks. So the question becomes, what is the optimal build path for Nocturne in these scenarios? Well, he has two modes. First is the Bruiser tank style, which pretty much everyone does in competitive play, with Stridebreaker rush into Sterix and then full tank. Considering Nocturne's role inside these dive comps, I would say this is his best version because he can dive in and not get one shot. He also has more staking power with Stridebreaker to guarantee his fear on a priority target. Nocturne's other mode is just full lethality assassin, which is my preferred style. However, we need to again consider Nocturne's role in the game, in addition to how each mode will function against the enemy team comp. In this game, there are 3 tanks and an Azir with crown and ult, so Assassin Nocturne would be completely useless here. Even though he would have done the Bruiser build no matter what, it was still the correct decision this game. This game he built Stridebreaker first into Black Cleaver, which does have significant value into the tanks of T1. It looks like he was going GA third, which would have been horrible and had no value. He should just go Sterix third into Frozen Heart and maybe Gargoyle. Either way, even though he lost the game on Nocturne, his itemization was solid, but if dive comps fall behind early and they can't dictate the terms of the fight, these kinds of champions are going to look pretty useless. Next up is the Lucian build for T1. He builds into Kraken Slayer first item, which is pretty basic and a good item for Lucian because his passive double hit works in synergy with the item. Now the mythic option is where things get interesting. He builds into Navori second, which I don't think is right this game. Obviously, this is a good general item for Lucian because he is a cooldown reliant spellcasting champion, but look at the enemy team this game. They are full dive, and there are vital spells that Lucian needs to avoid in order to hit them. Jack's Counterstrike, Nocturne Fear, Nico Ult, and Galio Taunt. The problem is, if Lucian gets hit by one of these spells, he's going to get hit by the rest. Since there's such high importance on Lucian staying safe from the dive, I think Gale Force would have been better this game as a defensive option. The dash alone would allow Lucian to dodge one of these abilities, and in addition to his cleanse, keep him safe from dive attempts. Yes, Navori is a higher DPS item on a good Lucian player, but I think this game Gale Force would have been better purely for the dash. But Lucian's huge blunder comes with building GA third item. Look at the enemy team here. What is going to happen when he revives into a Jax, Nocturne, Nico, and Galio? That second life is never going to get any value, so it should always be Bloodthirster third. I think Guardian Angel on ADCs is largely overpurchased and rarely gets the intended value from the revive. Anyways, not horrid itemization from the Lucian, but I would have gone Kraken into Gale Force, Bloodthirster, LDR, and QSS last. Lastly, I want to quickly touch on the Azir itemization. I know I sound like a broken record, but look at this build. He rushes Crown first as Mythic, which admittedly could have some value here against the heavy dive, and then he goes Nashers, and he's building into Zhonya's third. He only bought a rod because the game was ending and he wanted as much damage as possible. Now think about it. Crown, Nashers, and Zhonya's. You do no damage on Azir. Sure, you have safety, but what's the point of being alive if you don't do damage? The build here should have been Liandry's or maybe Luden's, Voidstaff into Rabadon's. A true hyper-carry Azir build. This is the GOAT League player we're talking about, and he's building super unoptimally. Sad to see this Crown pandemic spreading worldwide. Anyways, that's all I got. Just wanted to go through some build paths inside this game. Thanks for watching. See you next time.